Another live lesson from Digital DJ Tips. Today we are looking at the difference between the software in this, it's rather nice isn't it, and the software that runs in the dominant DJ gear out there, and whether if you go for a controller or a DJ system like this one I've got here, or indeed like another very popular one that our students love at Digital DJ Tips, this one here, I'll tell you more about these in a second. If you go for one of these, whether you are making a mistake or whether actually you're being quite clever. The thing that unites the two units I've just shown you, this cute little thing here, and several other DJ standalone bits of kit from a couple of manufacturers, to name them both, Denon DJ and Newmark, is that they're not powered by the dominant software in the market, which is made by the company that was formerly called Pioneer DJ, which is now called Alpha Theta. They are powered by a piece of software called Engine DJ. And it is not the dominant brand, not by far. And so when you're coming to invest in DJ gear and you're thinking, am I going to make a mistake if I go for this brand that looks pretty good, but that's nowhere near the market leader? Am I going to make a mistake if I buy an Engine DJ powered piece of equipment? Then this is for you today, because we're going to talk you through the pros and cons of the gear that's out there that doesn't use Pioneer DJ software. And the piece of software we're talking about specifically today is Engine DJ. I'll tell you why now. Okay, so you're a new DJ. You're not sure about what to get. You just want to get into this game. Hey, guess what? We know a bit about that. We wrote the book on it. We teach DJing. That's what we do here at Digital DJ Tips, which is why we're in a completely unique situation, because we don't have any favorites among this gear. It'd be silly to, because you guys and girls use everything. And let me let you into a secret. You can use anything and everything. It doesn't matter. You can use the tiniest DJ gear out there, or you can use the biggest DJ gear out there. It will all do the same thing. It will all allow you to play two tunes and mix them together and hopefully give everyone a good time. So just like you can drive any type of car, you can use any type of DJ equipment. That's okay. But of course, if you're at the beginning of your journey and you don't want to make a mistake, we totally get it. And like I say, you know, I can DJ on it all. I'm DJing on 7-inch records a week on Friday, by the way. I'm a little bit nervous about that. But look, DJs who've done it all can DJ on it all. They don't care. And that's where we always say we want to get our students to. So it would be silly to say, oh no, you can't use that, or you shouldn't touch that, and so on. We will teach everything, right? So we're in a unique position in that we're totally unbiased about all of this. We don't care what you use. We'll teach you to DJ on any of it. But that said, it doesn't stop you having to make a decision at the beginning of your journey, or if you're updating. And so one of the biggest decisions you make right at the beginning is, do I go down the laptop route, where I have a laptop in the DJ booth with me, literally in the place where I'm DJing, plugged in? And that piece of equipment is called a controller, because it controls the software on the laptop. Or do I go for a standalone piece of DJ gear that doesn't need the laptop? The laptop is used to prepare a nice little USB stick that just plugs into it, and I DJ from there. And sometimes nowadays you don't even need a USB stick because it's all done over Wi-Fi and stuff. In other words, like this here, a piece of equipment that just sits there and does the job. Or as I said, like the other ones I've been holding up, this one here. And if I do want to go for standalone, this one here. If I do want to go for standalone, what do I go for? Well, again, we are down to the two brands I'm talking about. Alpha Theta, Pioneer DJ in a former life, make a system called Record Box, which is for laptops and stuff, but it also powers their standalone gear. This is club standard standalone. You will see this in DJ booths, in nightclubs all over the world. And it's made by Pioneer DJ. Again, it's now called Alpha Theta, but same company, right? So they make the dominant brand in this market. They make the one that most people buy and most people use. But they're not the only name in town, because the other name is Engine DJ. And as I said, they power this, they power the other couple of bits of gear I've been holding up, and others. You might know the Prime 4 Plus as a pretty serious piece of kit, which I haven't got out today, mainly because it's too heavy for me to pick up and put down, because I'm getting on a bit. Right, so anyway, the point is, there is this system, and this system's really, really good. This system has got things like a sampler, so you can on the pads down here, you can power a sampler and trigger samples. You can't do that on the Pioneer DJ standalone gear. This has got stems, so you can isolate the stems, the drums and the bass and the melody and the vocals, so you can have instant acapellas or instant instrumentals and so on. You don't get that on the Pioneer DJ Alpha Theta record box. It's confusing, isn't it? Dominant brands gear. It's got built-in control over lighting, so you can control not only proper lights like that you see in clubs and stuff, or that you carry around as a mobile DJ, but you know, things like the ones you've got at home, the Philips Hue lights or the Nano Leaf that you see influencers stuck to the wall behind them, right? I'm sure you know the ones, like these little hexagonal panels and triangles and stuff. It can power those as well. So you could have a light show going in your home from this kind of gear. It also has much more of in the way of streaming services. So you get lots of streaming services, like some of them have now got Apple Music, but you also get Beatport and BeatSource and Tidal and SoundCloud and so on, all built in. So there's a lot of reasons why Engine DJ powered standalone gear is kind of leading the pack, is ahead of the pack. And it has over the last, how long it is since they first released gear, let's say half decade, they have been leading with the dominant brand kind of catching up with them as they go along. So there are reasons why this gear on paper looks really good, but there's always this question of, should I go for a smaller brand? So I'm going to answer I guess about 5 questions now about this type of gear, and they are going to be the ones we get asked the most as a DJ school. And at this point, I always have to say, sadly, because this is the way the world has gone. So I have to say, quite sadly, we are not paid by any of these companies. We are not influencers, we are not streamers, we are not YouTubers, we're a DJ school. None of these companies have got any commercial relationship with us. You will see, actually, because our school is 15 years old this year, you will see throughout the summer, from about now all the way to the end of the summer when the nights are drawing in, you will see us giving away gear, headphones, speakers, controllers, all kinds of cool stuff from pretty much every brand in this market. Why? Because they're all our friends. We know them all. We teach on all of their gear. And therefore, we are scrupulously unbiased. If we don't like it, we say it. And even though they sometimes don't like us doing that, guess what? We still have amiable relationships with them all, because ultimately, we all want the same thing: more people DJing. So do trust what we say at Digital DJ Tips. Unlike any other school you'll see, and unlike any other person who's sticking out this stuff, who's reached any size, we are not paid to say this. We do not take money from these people. When you click on a link, it does not go to an affiliate site where we make money from you clicking on that link. We have no reason to push any of this stuff, and we're very proud of that. So when we talk about this brand, people say, oh, you would say that. When we talk about this lot here, people say, oh, you would say that. And we just smile quietly and say, that ain't how it is. And if you really want to know, go to djtips.co/funding. djtips.co/funding, where we will tell you in black and white that this is completely all funded by you, our students, as the world's leading DJ school. Right, cool. I have to get that out of the way, because whenever we talk about one brand, we always get in the comments, yeah, you would say that. So anyway, it's done now. Right, okay, so let's go through those 5 things. Number 1, I do not want to use Engine DJ gear because it is not the industry standard. And again, people say, how dare you say something is the industry standard? Well, sorry, but this is the industry standard. You go to any professional DJ booth, any festival, any club, anywhere where they set up DJ gear for you, it is going to be this. It is not, I repeat, not going to be anything powered by this. It just isn't. It's how it is. And this is not the industry standard. So people say, hey, I don't know whether to go for it because it isn't the industry standard. And they'd be quite right to say that. But guess what? DJing is bigger than the club. DJing's a lot bigger than the club. So if you're a hobby DJ, if you're a bar DJ, if you're an event DJ, mobile DJ, weddings, look, you don't care what they're using anywhere else. All you care is what you're using. And we've already told you some of the benefits of this gear, some of the things it does that other platforms don't. And so if your only worry is, hey, it's not industry standard, look, you can DJ on anything. Good schools will teach you on anything, we will. And if it's got what you want, don't let that worry you. Because if you're any of those things, a mobile DJ, an event DJ, bar DJ, corporate DJ, hobby DJ, look, who cares? You know, ultimately, you use what you want to use. Let's move on to the second question that people ask us. They say, is it going to be a hassle switching to and learning a system that I'm not used to? In this case, Engine DJ. And they've got actually in-house tools. So when you're preparing your music on a laptop with their software, they do have kind of like get your Serato collection, get your record box collection, tools like that. They're not brilliant, but they can help you do that. I would say that if you're serious about using more than one platform, so let's say you want to use something like this and you also want to use something like that, there are tools out there that can help you. There's a guy called Mixmaster G, who's a friend of us here at Digital DJ Tips, and he has a Denon conversion utility, which will help you take stuff to and from, say, record box and this gear. But honestly, yes, it can be a hassle. I'd say do it once, make your choice and stick to one platform or the other is the truth here. Of course, if you're just starting out, you won't have that problem. But switching can be a hassle, yeah. So there's a bit of truth in that. So the next one that people say is, I'm worried that they're going to discontinue it. I'm worried this engine system is going to fail. It's not going to get any traction in the market and it's just going to disappear. And I'm going to be left with a piece of gear that doesn't do anything. Well, the company behind Denon DJ, right, which is a company that makes, this is a little Prime Go Plus controller, lovely little thing, battery built in, I love it. The company behind this as well is the Denon DJ SC Live 4, kind of a cut down version of their bigger Prime 4, but it's got 4 channels and all that stuff on it. And also the company behind this, which is the Numark Mix Stream Pro Go. It's got speakers and a battery and stuff, and another very, very good value for money and nice piece of DJ gear. And also the company behind Akai Professional and M Audio and lots of other brands that you have probably heard of is a company called In Music. Now, In Music are a huge music company, like a monolithic music company. Yeah, they only control 10-15% of the DJ market, but they are a huge company and they have bet really, really big on Engine DJ. So the evidence doesn't really support the fact that or rather the statement that they're going to discontinue this. It just doesn't. If anyone who's bought this gear knows that they've improved it a lot over the years. They're always issuing updates and so on. So it's not supported by evidence. You know, I haven't got a crystal ball. I can't tell you the future, but I don't think this gear is going anywhere anytime fast. Also, about 1 in 9 or 1 in 10 of our students is using it. That's a lot of people. You know, even if you just look at our students, that's a lot of people, but there's a lot more people who aren't our students out there. So, you know, this is a popular platform. Just because you're not dominant, it doesn't mean no one uses you, right? So I don't think there's a problem there. I don't think they're likely to discontinue this in the foreseeable future. Let's face it, whenever you buy DJ gear, you're looking at 5, 6, 7 years if you're lucky, and then it's time to do something else, right? So we can only look that far ahead. I don't think it's a problem. So another thing that people say is, I want to use software as well. I'm not sure whether I want to use a laptop and the controller or just a piece of DJ gear away from the laptop. Or I want to do both, actually. I'd like to do both of those things. At home, I might want to use my laptop so I'm not constantly switching from one to the other. But when I go out, I just want to leave the laptop and go out. Now, that is an interesting question, because if you genuinely want to use a laptop some of the time plugged into your gear, using it like a DJ controller, and you also want to use it standalone, then you're best off sticking with the dominant brand, Pioneer DJ, Alpha Theta, Rekordbox, because their software, Rekordbox, is the only piece of DJ software that will prepare your music for standalone gear like their Pro gear, but also their big, fantastic controllers, as in standalone units like the XDJ AZ, the XDJ, what's the other ones? RX3, etc., etc. The Omnis Duo, the Opus Quad. You know, all of they've got a big whole range of gear, just like I'm showing you here from Engine DJ. That gear will work with or without a laptop plugged in all kinds of ways. And this gear doesn't have that flexibility. It just doesn't. So really, yes, some of this gear uses other brands' software like Virtual DJ or Serato, but you'd need to buy it. And you're still switching between different systems. Just because the gear uses it doesn't mean that it's particularly time effective to be switching between those systems. So honestly, if you want to use both and you haven't made your mind up, you're probably best sticking with Engine, not going for Engine DJ and sticking with the Pioneer DJ Rekordbox Alpha Theta route. But what I would say is, that this gear is now so powerful. Like I say, it's got sampler, it's got stems, it's got lighting control, it's got a lot of the stuff that you used to only get on DJ software, that I'm pretty sure that one of the reasons that you're interested in this kind of gear in the first place is you actually know already that you don't want to use a laptop in the DJ booth. So if you know that already, then you've got no problem here. Yes, this is only a standalone platform, but it's a very, very good one. Ultimately, I'll give you an example that I often give our students when they're saying, I really can't make my mind up whether to take a laptop with me to DJ or whether to DJ away from the laptop. There's a couple of things I say. Number one, all pro DJs don't use a laptop. Now, this isn't strictly true. A lot of DJs, scratch DJs and hip hop DJs use a laptop with Serato to scratch, but everyone else is just using standalone CDJs, right? They're only using a laptop to prepare their music. That's the first thing. But the second thing I point out to people is, because all the teaching we do at Digital DJ Tips is done from studios like this. Now, this studio here is powered by that box there that you can see. You often see me touching to change the camera angle like that, right? Now, this box here is a piece of hardware. This piece of hardware has got everything that we use to make our live streams work in it. From the cameras, which are all plugged into it, to the output straight to the internet. So everything is going straight through that box. It's not going near a computer. There's no computer control going on here at all. It's all on these buttons. And I absolutely love it. I mean, we couldn't do these shows any other way. So the idea that you must have a laptop running software in order to do something creative is craziness. And so, look, you don't need laptops to DJ on. They're fantastic. They're amazing. Most of our students and DJs use them, about 70%, but you don't need it. And for some people, leaving that damn thing behind is actually really, really nice. It's a tonic. It's like I stare at a screen all day, every day. So if you're sure you need standalone, then the idea that you can't use the same platform to plug a laptop in and DJ really doesn't start. Only you know that. Only you know whether that's how you feel about it. So we've covered here the fact that for a lot of people, it doesn't matter if the DJ gear they choose is not industry standard. We've covered the fact that switching can be a hassle, but once you've done it, you've done it. And that it's not going anywhere anytime soon. They ain't going to be discontinuing this. We've also just covered off the fact that, yes, if you do want to switch constantly from software back to hardware use, back to software use, back to hardware use, it might not be the platform for you. Let's look at one or two other reasons why it might not be the platform for you. And if you have joined us late, we're talking about Engine DJ as an alternative to using Pioneer, Alpha Theta, Record Box, standalone gear. We've talked through all those things I've just mentioned. If you know that you want to play on club gear, in other words, you want to be practicing at home and then take your library and off you go to the club and use the gear that you're going to find there, this is definitely not the system for you, because the hassle of switching between them is just not worth it. If you know you want to use DVS, that means turntables plugged into and using your DJ setup in order to control software, then clearly this is not the one for you, because it doesn't have that kind of control. You cannot plug turntables into any of this gear and control it in that way. It just doesn't have it. So if you're someone who knows you want to use DVS, you know you want to use turntables, this is certainly not the correct one for you. If you are addicted to the absolutely fantastic library functions of Record Boxes, in particular the software that powers the Pioneer Alpha Theta gear, then you're not going to get that level of sophistication in the software that powers Engine gear. Record Box has got fantastic tagging, especially fantastic tagging and fantastic track filtering and recommendation and stuff. You just don't get that in this gear. So if you're addicted to that and you don't want to leave that behind, then you're going to find it very, very hard moving to this, and it probably won't sit well with you. So do bear that in mind. It's very advanced, the tagging and the way you can arrange and sort out your music in Record Box. And I imagine that a smaller percentage of DJs that ever use that stuff than don't. But if that's you, you have been warned. But as I said, if you're sick of software, if you know you only want standalone, and also I have to say from a commercial point of view, if you don't want to pay subscription, then you want to look very, very hard if you're choosing the software route at all. Because software comes with subscriptions nowadays increasingly. There isn't any DJ software that doesn't offer one. And Rekordbox you can only get on subscription. Serato, if you want the features that you need, you pay an awful lot of money, and you can get caught out and end up having to pay the same again that you've just paid for their pro software just to get some silly little feature that's necessary, but they chose to leave out. You know, that kind of thing doesn't happen with these standalone platforms. The software is always updated for free, and they just know that if they do anything to mess up the software, it's like, I always think of it like your job, right? You have a contract with your employer, which is, doesn't matter how crap the job is and how badly you treat me and this and that, you will pay me on the 25th of the month or I'm out of there, right? That's a non-negotiable. I think with this kind of standalone gear, there's that vibe. It's almost a non-negotiable that the software is always going to be working and updated and ready to go. And that has by and large been the case, not only with this, but also with Pioneer DJ Alpha Theta's standalone gear, right? They treat those users differently to the people who are on the laptops and getting the software and paying subscriptions and paying extra for all the new features. Software seems to be a bit of a cash cow for companies. And actually it's the same with me with this stuff. I don't think I've ever paid them a penny. In fact, I know I haven't since we bought the hardware. So if you're someone who really doesn't like subscriptions, you're going to find that standalone gear is better for you. I want to answer the question we asked at the beginning. Is it okay to use Engine DJ? Yes, it definitely is okay to use Engine DJ, but do give it some thought if you're at the beginning of your journey, especially give it some thought as to whether you want standalone or a laptop system with a controller. That's a whole different question, and you can find out all about that on our Digital DJ Tips website, for instance. We have articles about everything you can imagine on the website. So head to digitaldjtips.com and click on the little magnifying glass at the top, and then you can type anything you want into this box here. So for instance, if I type in the word standalone, I'm just doing this live, God knows what will come up, hopefully it'll work. Here we go, best standalone systems, and you can see we've got the best Rekordbox controllers, we've got how the stems work on this stuff, we've got all kinds of stuff here which is going to help you choose between the two different types of system, and then when you have chosen, have a look at what's available. And of course we have reviews of all this stuff as well. Here is the review of the one I've got in front of me, and these reviews all have videos, etc, etc. So you've got a real treasure trove of useful information over on the Digital DJ Tips website to help you with all of this. Okay, so there's our lesson for you today. But as you know, if you're a regular, we have the fun at the end of talking to you guys and girls about this. And I know you're going to have views on it because I just know you. So let's see what you're saying about standalone systems and Engine DJ. Hello, everyone. Hello to Kevin and Kesha and Don, and I am Preacher Man over there in Florida, and to Cat's Groove Catherine. Hello to Justin, who says, I love my Prime 4 Plus. Hello to Mixmaster G. Already had a name check on this show today over there in the Netherlands. So Mr. Time says, my SC6000 players. I've got one down here actually. This is the SC6000M. So this is something I haven't shown you yet. These are the standalone players. These are the equivalent from Engine DJ for this stuff over here, the kind of big Pioneer DJ players. So it says and this one's motorized actually, it's got a motorized platter. My SC6000s are the best players on the market right now, says Mr. Time, so thank you for that. Rave Agent says, I bought a D-Juiced powered controller, but Engine DJ would be a lovely upgrade. Engine works perfectly for me, says long-time Digital DJ Tips supporter Michael, and I use it for all my gigs. I love not having to use a laptop, says Michael. So what else have we got about Engine DJ? So many of you commenting, as you always do, about it's almost like we open the doors and then we just talk DJing like this for an hour. But I am going to only pick out the Engine DJ comments here. And it's lovely, as always, to see you all chatting to each other in there as well. I love my Prime Go, says Mr. Time, backing up the previous comment. Mixmaster G says, I can vouch for Phil, and I can also vouch for Digital DJ Tips' independence. He's one of the few. Yes, thank you for that. We don't see the point otherwise, frankly. Hello to Benny. Hello to KCR, who says, what gear is this? This gear is the Denon DJ SC Life 4, which is a lovely little device indeed. Okay. Lots of you who use the Prime 4 Plus are saying it's a great device. Hello to Yomi, who says that as well, and Ismail, who agrees. Denon should be the industry standard. Yeah, well, we don't make the rules. You guys and girls do with what you buy. The amount of controls, says Tanel, is always decent on Denon gear. I can't say the same about Pioneer Alpha Theta gear as the price gets ridiculous. The only issue I see with Denon is maintainability. Actually, you raise a point which I'm also going to raise, whether they like it or not. I will raise the point that we do hear more issues with gear failing from Denon users and Numark users than we do from Pioneer DJ users. And I don't know whether that is just because they, I don't know, tell us more often, whatever. We certainly have not got any reason to think that this gear is less reliable than any other. We've got, over the last 15 years, we've had every piece of Denon DJ and Numark gear through here, and they've all been as reliable as anyone else's. Occasionally things go wrong, but we do hear sometimes that quality control is an issue with some of this stuff. And we also hear that they replace and refund and all that stuff. So it is worth knowing that if you want to know the gear that gets battered the most by professionals, it is this. It is, for sure. This stuff is made to be bulletproof. And like I say, everything can fail. It's not like anything is perfect. But if you had to choose a brand that has got more like DJs abusing it, it's definitely Pioneer DJ Alpha Theta. Just how it is. So thanks for that. Anyway, it makes sense to have a machine on its own, says Stream Paint. It does for some people. I mean, some people like software. Software will always give you the latest features first. But when you're performing, do you really want the latest features first? Or do you want just something that does what it's always done and you can get on with doing the job? Only you know the answer to that. Ian on YouTube says, I've got a Prime 4 and I've got a Mix Stream Pro Go. I love them both. I like the fact that I can use my Rekordbox playlists on both of these because, again, we were talking about it earlier, you can kind of import them in your Engine DJ software on your laptop. So John says, I've swapped and changed over the years between Pioneer and Denon. I just find Denon more user-friendly. Both platforms are great, but I just prefer Denon. Simple as that. Ralph says, I would have switched to Denon, but I do not like their library management software. Yeah, as I was saying, that is something that some people find as a deal breaker. If you go for Engine DJ gear, make sure you've got the right hardware. Not all of them support Apple Music streaming. Says Mixmaster G. Thank you for pointing that out. And not all of them will work with Serato if you want a software option as well, just to add that to that. Miles, I love my Denon Prime 4 and my Denon Go. So what else are we saying that I can pull out that's a bit different? And so again, lovely to see you all chatting to each other in here. It's just beautiful. So on Facebook and YouTube, if you are with us live, get in the comments and join in with everyone else. And if you're not, you can still comment underneath. My team and I will still get to you. Because we do. Do any of the standalones have a video output, says Tim? Good question. And no, they don't. There is no such thing as this kind of standalone DJ gear with a video output. It's just audio. Denon are good products when you don't have to earn money with your DJ gear and you don't have to use them intensively, says DJ Trice. Aftermarket is not good. I think that's a fair comment. Hobby, Denon, professional, Pioneer, just how it is. In Music needs to make Engine DJ a legit controller software capable of competing with Serato, says Cesar. I kind of know what you're saying, and I often say the same to them, but they don't seem to have any plans to do that anytime soon. This hardware is great, especially for playing in bars and sunset sets and so on, says DJ D Jack. Indeed, it is. Nuru says, I have Prime 4 Plus. I basic prep in Rekordbox, but you can only use your Rekordbox cue points in Engine when you import it. So you found a way of working with them both anyway. So good to hear that. Just goes to show it is possible. DJG says, is it okay to not use Engine DJ? Well, I think we've answered that question. You do you. You use what you want. As an Engine DJ user, I have nearly 50 tags that I've set up, and I just use the comment field, says Tanel. It works, but you do need to know your tags to search for them. Yeah, there are ways around this stuff. In fact, I've just finished. We have I'm going off on a tangent here, but hey, I will go off on a tangent. We have a set of DJ tutorials and deep dives and mixed training videos, hundreds and hundreds of them, in a product that is called Digital DJ Lab. And you can't get this, that's why I'm going off on a tangent. I don't even know why I'm telling you. You can't even buy this at the moment. However, I've just made a new training tutorial, which we've put in there for the people who do own this product, which is called the DJ Music Library Blueprint. It was our most popular training and we've just updated it for 2025. And it is the way we teach organizing your music library, knowing what to play at your next gig, knowing how to look back at previous sets and find the tracks that work very quickly, and just basically getting your way around a music library as if it were real records. And one of the things we teach in there is ways of doing exactly what Tanel just said, which is having tags easily so that you can quickly find what you want. So you don't need to have all these advanced features like they've got in Rekordbox to do this stuff, but it does make it easier. By the way, if you're interested in those hundreds and hundreds of tutorials that haven't been available to anyone for ages, they're going to be part of a special package that we're launching next week as we continue to celebrate our 15th birthday celebrations. So if you're not on our list, if you are on our list, you don't have to do anything. We'll tell you all about it. But there's a special way of getting all of our stuff that we haven't done before that we're doing next week, just for a very short period of time initially. And we'll tell you all about that then. So again, if you're not on our list, there's a link underneath wherever you're watching this. Click there and stick your email address in so we can let you know about that. Right, let's move on. I use 3 types of DJ software, says Perry. Rekordbox, Serato and Engine. And you know what? I'm comfortable using them all. Well, look, that's great. And if you're happy to, one thing we always say, hobby DJs get the privilege of being able to geek out, right? DJing is 5 areas: gear, music, mixing, performing, and then where you go with it. We call that bit success at the end. It's 5 areas. But most DJs, like who are doing it for a living, they have to move past the gear quite quickly to get on with the music and the performing and the mixing. Us hobby DJs don't. We can really geek out on the gear, and that includes the software. If that's what we're into, we can just spend all our time at home messing around with DJ gear and software. What a lovely life we have, eh? And so I'm totally with you. That's absolutely great, Perry. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to spend all your time geeking out. You can just settle on something and get on with doing the DJing bit, as literally everything you do. Same way that I am not a video geek. I don't care about it really. I just use it to teach. So this box works for me. I know what the buttons do. That's it. I'm out of there. That's how a lot of DJs are with their gear. You get to choose how much you go down one route or the other with this stuff for sure. Excuse me. Right, 1 or 2 more then. The only feature I miss on Engine DJ is streaming playlist support, says Jai Panade on Twitch. I'm not sure exactly what you mean there, but thank you. DJ V squared, what's nice is that most of the Engine DJ controllers let you control Serato. Yes, most, but not all. So do check if Serato is important for you. Right, we're going to stop there. People, thank you very much. I hope you found this useful. If you're watching the recording, do come and join us for the next live. They're much more fun live. You can find out when we go live by joining our list. It's free to join Digital DJ Tips. So head to digitaldjtips.com website, and in there you can just click the join button at the top, stick your email address in, and that is also the place to find out about all of our courses, offers, programs, and how to get all those hundreds and hundreds of mixed training tutorials and deep dives that I was just talking about, which are going into a special package that we're talking about next week, including the music library one. So always worth joining up, and it's free to join. So hey, what have you got to lose? Look, if you've enjoyed this, click those likes, click all that stuff, but more importantly, give your email address to us. Come and join us. Come and become part of the community. That's what we really want you to do. Whatever, it's been good to have you here. Thank you for being here. I'm here again next week. But until then, get good, get out there, make the moments. From me, Phil, here in the Digital DJ Tips School Studio. Bye-bye for now.